law enforcement in Manchester, England, were alerted to a gruesome discovery at the Salford Nature Reserve in early April of 2024. A member of the public came upon a discarded torso and thighs which were wrapped in cling film. The authorities faced a challenging investigation as they were initially unable to identify the victim or perpetrator. However, after combing through CCTV footage, investigators saw that a long-haired, heavy-set man had taken a blue bag for life to the Kersaldale Nature Reserve and then returned without it. On April the 2nd, the bag seemed heavy and the suspect had to rest and swap hands as he headed to the wooded area. The police knew what the man looked like but didn't have a name. On April the 25th, 3 weeks after the body parts were discovered, two plainclothes Greater Manchester police officers were working the case when they spotted him, by chance, on the street. The officers followed the man as he got on a bus, then blocked the vehicle's path and boarded it. As seen on body cam footage, they approached the suspect and told him he was being detained for the purpose of a search and identification. He was identified as 42-year-old Polish native Marcin Mazurkiewicz, who insisted that his arrest was definitely a mistake 100%. However, the evidence that was uncovered in the aftermath of his arrest left little doubt that he was a killer. The victim was the man's housemate, 67-year-old Stuart Everett, who had not been seen for weeks. The latter was a fellow Polish national who was christened Roman Zymacki but anglicized his name. When Mazurkiewicz was arrested, he had 2 phones and bank cards in Everett's name. An examination of the home that they shared produced blood splatter as well as saw marks and evidence that a cleanup had occurred. Mazurkiewicz had murdered and extensively dismembered Everett. He flayed the man's face off and dumped it separately from his skull, which he shattered into multiple pieces. Mazurkiewicz's subsequent movements were pieced together through CCTV, and the police determined that he dumped the remains at 4 different locations. Only a third of the body parts were recovered, however, with the rest likely lost to nature. A pathologist pieced together Everett's skull and concluded he'd been repeatedly struck in the head with a heavy, blunt implement. After killing him, Mazurkiewicz stole the man's identity, plundered his bank accounts, and sent messages to his relatives to maintain the illusion that he was still alive. On April the 3rd, he researched the addresses of Everett's brother and sent him a birthday card, purportedly from the dead man. Mazurkiewicz denied killing and disembodying the victim but gave no evidence in his defense during the trial that followed. A jury only took 1 hour and 36 minutes to convict him in March of 2025. A concrete motive for the murder wasn't established, but the authorities believed that it was mainly financial and at least in part connected to Mazurkiewicz's fascination with gore and horror movies. He was jailed for life with a minimum of 34 years behind bars.